market with intense competition. In contrast, management is a broad science of study that covers a variety of topics, including marketing, human resource, and financial management. According to this, we will discuss about how management science possibly contain the key to the word climate today. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, we say thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us guidance, happiness, health, and mercy, so we can attend and participate in this special event without any obstacles. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to International Seminar with the theme Management is the Key to the World, which was held in online manner at Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo Management Department. Before we start, let's open this event by reciting Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The next program is Recite the Holy Quran by Tri Wahyudiati.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahilladzi anzala 'ala 'abdihil kitaba wa lam yaj'al lahu iwaja. Qayyiman liyudhira ba'san syadidan min ladunhu wa yubashshiral mu'minina alladhina ya'maluna as-solihati anna lahum ajran hasana makisina fihi abada wa yundiral ladhina qalu ittakhadallahu walada. Sadaqallahul adzim. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next is Let's Sing the National Anthem, Indonesia Raya and Mars Muhammadiyah.
Assalamualaikum
section is speech that will be delivered by the Dean Faculty of Business, Law and Social Science, Mr. Wisnu Panggah Setiono, SAMSI, PhD, please.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, Bismillah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, amma ba'du. In this virtual conference room, I recognize my name of Vice Rector Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo. Also, the Honorable Visitor Professor Muhammad Najib, Sandra Vidya, and Dr. Marlon Astiano, some of you. Also, my colleague, Dr. Siono, Dr. Prapanka, and Sophie Diana. Looking to one and all, it gives me strength, warmth, and great pleasure to praise all of you. Your presence in this interest of the entire content of this webinar. I'm pleased to welcome you to the webinar series on management. Before we begin this webinar, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you who sincerely committed to this event to make it a success. This event would have been possible without the support of each of everyone present here. Seminar of organized and presented insight and information that management is the key of the work. So this seminar and different platform by the of sports, game standings, focus on the aspects to improve the understanding of I ensure this seminar will be forgettable and from everyone who can hear. Thank you all masih kita dia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. So the next, let's listen the speech of the rector of UMSIDA, also opening this event, which will be delivered by the third vice rector of Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo, Mr. Eko Hardiansyah, MC Psychologist, please.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Is it my voice heard from this Zoom meeting? Miss Reni? Do you heard my voice?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, clearly. Thank you. Okay, the Honorable Mr. Dr. Muhammad Najib, Education and Cultural Attaché, Indonesian Embassy in Canberra, Professor in Department of Management, Bogor Institute Pertanian Bogor. The Honorable Mrs. Sandra Vivier, Director of Institute Francis de Engineering, IV Surabaya. The Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Sriono MM, CIQ and R from Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo. The Honorable Dr. Marlon Rael Astilo, Head of Management Science, Department Institute of Science, Innovation and Culture, Raja Manggala University of Technology, Krung Thep, Thailand. The Honorable Dean of Business Law and Social Science Faculty, and all accompanying officials who attend to this seminar. And all of participants who may Allah bless you all. For the beginning, I would like to say welcome to for all of you, for all of source person speakers who already attend to this international seminar, which tech team management is a key to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, today we all know that global challenges arise after the pandemic and war between Russia and Ukraine. These challenges lead to major changes that occur to various aspects related to finance, humanity, health, economy, security, trade, technology, and etc. And of course, this challenge must be controlled and transformed into potential for our mutual benefit. To be able to do all these things, of course, we all need the ability to manage all aspects of our lives, such as natural resources, human resources, as well as all the potential that exists around us. To make all of these things into a global prosperity, of course, we need to increase the spirit of collaboration. Sharing with one another is related to an important part of collaboration to create a prosperous global society. And we hope that this international seminar can be a part of this important global collaboration. Thank you for Sandra Vivier. Thank you to Mr. Najib, Mr. Sriono, and all of the source person here to take a part of this collaboration. To Department of Management, Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo, we want to say congratulations for you to facilitating this activity. Hopefully, this activity can be useful for all of us for further better life. Thank you for this opening speech for all of you, and I'm sorry Mr. Rector cannot attend to the seminar because he has another activity. So he delivered to take this opening speech to me. Thank you. By saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, this international seminar, which tech team management is a key to the world, begin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for your speech and also opening this event. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the main agenda of today's event that will be directed by our moderator, Ms. Poppy Febriana Essos and Medcom, please.
Thank you, Mbak Rani. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, Miss Rani, is it my voice sounds clear there?
Yeah, your sounds clearly.
Okay, thank you. Okay, first of all, I want to say welcome to all four speakers here, and the Honorable Vice Rector, Mr. Eko Hardiansa, And the Honorable Dean of Faculty of Business, Law and Social Science, Mr. Wisnu Panggasetiono, PhD. And also the Head of Management Study Program, Mr. Deta. The Secretary of Management Study Program, Ma'am Maya, and all the lecturers from the Management Study Program, and for sure for all my beloved students who joined with us today. It's been an honor for me to accompany our 4 remarkable speakers today, and we will talk about management as the key to the world. Mr. Deta gave me the theme. It's quite interesting, yeah. As we know that management is, we can say it's the backbone of all aspects in life. Maybe you can say how a good organization can run without a good management. It would be impossible. If we talk about life also, management is giving a big role in that. I can say that management is kind of art and also a science. So today we will have a valuable opportunity to listen the 4 presentation from many backgrounds. So we will talk about how management in small and medium-sized enterprises from the finance and marketing point of view. We will also discuss about how the management in terms of a cultural aspect, and how about the management in terms of employment. So for sure, in our discussion today, I will hope that it will give us a deeper understanding how to see management as the key of the world. Yeah? And before we start our presentation, I would like to introduce the speakers for today. I will read a glimpse about their CV. The first one is the Professor Dr. Muhammad Najib. Welcome, Pak Najib, and congratulations on your honoration as professor. Maybe it's a bit too late. Mr. Najib is born in Jakarta in the late 70s, and he got his doctoral degree from the University of Tokyo, major in farm business and management in 2012. And his late position is from 2019 and until 2021 as a vice chairman in IPB SDGs network. And he also as a BRI Syariah Risk Monitoring Committee. And now Professor Najib is as a education and cultural attaché for Indonesia and Canberra. Is also a very productive. A lot of his research and also books. And the latest one, his latest book is about the management strategy that published by Alex Media. And then our second speaker, Mrs. Sandra Vivier. Welcome, ma'am. Mrs. Sandra Vivier has been working for about 15 years in public relations in Rhône-Alpes and in Shanghai in the field of environment, culture, education, health, and she's specializing in project planning and institutional relations internationally. She's also in charge in Asian cooperation at the Rhône-Alpes Provincial Office of International Relations. And if we talk about her interest and passion about education, it's getting bigger when Ms. Sandra Vivier had the opportunity to learn about Asian influence at Institut National des Sciences Appliquées. I don't know how to pronounce it in French, ma'am. Sorry if it's not quite good. And then Ma'am Vivier also started her mission to build an alliance of Francis in Shenzhen and to share French and about the French culture and to learn about China in the 21st century. And our third speaker is Dr. Sriono. I'm sure most of the participants here already know. Mr. Siono is quite famous. He's our senior lecturer at Management Study Program. And Mr. Siono got his doctoral degree from Faculty of Economy and Business from Airlangga University, Surabaya. And his dissertation topic is about the effect of inflation, interest rates, and exchange rates on the money supply and economic growth. And one of his interesting book is about the strategy and risk management that published in 2020. And then the last but not least, fourth speaker is Dr. Marlon Rael Astillero from Department of Management Science, Institute of Science, Innovation and Culture, Raja Manggala University of Technology, Krungtep. Dr. Marlon has his doctoral degree in management from University of San Jose. The major is human resource management. And now he's also taking his doctoral philosophy in technology management, also from University of San Jose, Philippines. And his working experience, he started working as a lecturer at Raja Manggala from 2019. And now Dr. Marlon is as an assistant director and lecturer at Institute of Science, Innovation and Culture. Okay, so the presentation we will do it in panel. So each speaker will have about 40 minutes for presentation. And then at the end of the session, we will have a question and answer for about 20 minutes. And without wasting any time, I would like to invite our first speaker, Professor Najib. Professor Najib will talk about business sustainability of SMEs as the key research trend. Professor Najib, the time is yours.
Thank you very much, moderator, Ibu Poppy Febrana. Vice Rector Pak Eko Hardiansyah, the Dean of Faculty of Business, Law and Social, Pak Wisnu, and also distinguished speaker here. There is Bu Sandra, Pak Marlon, and Pak Sriono. Also all of the lecturer and student as a participant today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. First of all, thank you very much for giving me opportunity to silaturahim again in UMSIDA. This is such a good progress, I think, that UMSIDA, particularly Department of Management, organize an international seminar. So I would like to give my highest appreciation for the organizer, for the Department of Management, Pak Detak of UMSIDA, and also support from the Dean and also Rector for this event. Of course, this is one step to enter a global market. Yeah, student and lecturer become familiar with the global issue related to management, and the most important thing is lecturer and student of UMSIDA have opportunity to communicate and make a connection with the international community in the same field. Here there is a speaker from Thailand and also France, even though living in Surabaya now. Ladies and gentlemen, in this seminar, because the topic is so broad, I would like to present more specific topic that is related to small and medium enterprises. In this seminar, I would like to present about the business sustainability of small and medium enterprises. Key research trend. So I would like to share research related to business sustainability of small and medium enterprise. Let me share my PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, is it clear? My PowerPoint can be seen for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay, of course, we realize that small and medium enterprises is a very important. Yeah. So talking about the business sustainability of small and medium enterprises is a very important issue. Yeah. Know that SMA play a strategic role in the economy, not only in Indonesia, I think in many countries, including in Asia, in Europe, in even though in America, small and medium enterprises is very important. In Indonesia itself, the share of GDP of small and medium enterprises is about maybe 60%, yeah, and this is very important. 97, maybe 97% of employees work in SMA. So we can imagine if the SMA cannot, they cannot operate well, or there are a lot of SMA bankrupt. Uh, of course, there are a lot of unemployment in Indonesia, and during the COVID-19 pandemic, yeah, of course, we know that the small and medium enterprises has a lot of problem. So sustainability of SMA become an important issue. Yeah. Therefore, allow me to discuss more about the business sustainability of SMA today. Um, yeah, this is my agenda. I would like to divide my presentation into 4 sections. The first is introduction, and the second one is I would like to explain about the business sustainability, important and definition, business sustainability of SMEs, and driver and barriers of business sustainability. And then we will discuss more about the research related to business sustainability of SMA. Especially the current issue is Industrial Revolution 4.0, and also after a pandemic, we can see how the consumers change and what the impact to sustainability of SMA. And the last, I would like to give the example of research related to business sustainability of SMA. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me start from the statement of the David Attenborough. Yeah, he said that we are at a unique stage in our history. Never before have we had such an awareness of what we are doing to the planet, and never before have we had the power to do something about that. Surely, we all have a responsibility to care for our blue planet, the future of humanity, and indeed, all life on Earth now depend on us. So, yeah, we can see here, David would like to say that we have responsibility more today than before to protect our planet, yeah, because protecting our planet means protecting ourselves. Yeah. Maybe we realize now there are a lot of flood, there are huge of waste in the sea, and all of things that can damage our planet. So he give us a warning, yeah, can save the planet is ourselves. Yeah. And he said stronger, we often talk of saving the planet, but the truth is that we must do these things to save ourselves. With or without us, the weight will return. So if we don't want to save this planet, of course, they will the planet will going to do what the environment will do. So what can we do? This is the suggestion from Sir David Attenborough. The first is restore biodiversity. Yeah. So we realize that, for example, like Indonesia, when we open the palm oil plantation, there are deforestation. Even though maybe some people say that we don't do that, but the fact that there are a lot of forests now disappear because of land conversion, forest conversion, and this is not only broken the trees, but also ecosystem and also biodiversity. So we have to restore biodiversity first. Yeah. And the second one, this is the important thing, is reducing poverty and providing universal health care. The third is improving education, because by education we can educate people that this is important to protect environment, to protect our planet together. And using renewable energy, solar, wind, water, geothermal, so energy transformation become necessary for this time. Protecting coastal area and also changing our diet, reduce meat, increase plant-based food. And of course, we can see here that all suggestions are related to sustainable behavior. Yeah, related to sustainable behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, when we are talking about sustainable behavior in business, of course, we must also discuss about sustainable consumption and sustainable production. Sustainable consumption and production, we can discuss here based on Oslo Symposium on Sustainable Consumption, 1994. Sustainable consumption and production refer to the use of service and related product which respond to basic needs and bring a better quality of life, while minimizing the use of natural resources and toxic material, as well as the emission of waste and pollutant over the life cycle of the service or product, so as not to jeopardize the need of further generation. So this is the important clue, the need of further generation. So we save the planet now, we protect the environment now, not only for us, but for the need of further generation. So we have to remember that we have to do something better for the further generation, for the next generation. So what is business sustainability itself? We can define business sustainability is doing business without negatively impact the environment, community, or society as a whole. So we experience, yeah, we had bad experience maybe in Sidoarjo, yeah. Yeah, even though this is maybe we called as musibah, yeah, but in fact the business practice make made negative impact for the environment. So the business like that, of course, not sustainable. So in this, we can define doing business without negatively impact the environment, community, or society as a whole. And business sustainability is meeting the need of present generation. So of course, we need to fulfill our need, yeah, for this present generation without compromising the need of future generations. So we have to think, we have to consider the future generation. So if we exploit the environment now, we have to consider that we still have a future generation that we have to protect. And business sustainability can be defined in terms of time as a capability for being competitive now and in the future. So we are not only thinking about the competitive now, but also competitiveness for the future. Considering that it has an impact on the triple bottom principle, that is economic, social, and environmental. So when we are thinking about the business, we have to think that the impact for the economic, the impact for the social or community, and the impact for the environmental. So this is the triple bottom line principle. So how about the business sustainability of SMA? SMA sector has made immense contribution to the economic and social well-being of the people across all countries in the world. As I mentioned before, not only in Indonesia, but also the countries in the world, and more significantly for countries in emerging, like Indonesia, developing and underdeveloped economies, like in Africa maybe. SMEs act as an important channel for poverty reduction and inclusive growth, especially but not exclusively in emerging and low-income economies. This is based on the OECD Council. The development and sustainability of SME are important for the overall economic growth of the countries. However, waste, this is important to note, waste from the food processing industry is produced in large quantities worldwide. And SMA are also responsible for a large part of the world's consumption of resources, air and water pollution, and waste generation. In addition, sustainability practice are grossly neglected in SMEs, more specifically in SMA of emerging market. So we can see here that SMA also contribute for the large part of the waste, in Indonesia, especially for the food processing. Yeah. So how to make the small and medium enterprises more sustainable, or they want to apply or they want to implement the principle of business sustainability. There are internal barrier and external barrier. We can divide into this group. The first is because of lack of knowledge and awareness. maybe some of the owners and manager of small and medium enterprises, they don't think that their business activities, because they think that they are small, so they think that their business activities does not impact to environment a lot. And so they think when they throw the waste to the river, for example, or to the sea, they think it's okay. Nobody knows maybe. So this practice, of course, become danger for the environment. And the second one is unsure of the benefit. Yeah, the benefit of protecting environment, the benefit for the protecting society. They are not sure if they protect the environment, they protect the society, they will give more benefit. And then they think that to implement the business sustainability principle, it high cost for them, and also they think that there are lack of money and resources. And this is the external barrier. The first is no strict regulation for small and medium enterprises. I don't know in Surabaya or Java. For example, like in Jakarta, for the supermarket, hypermarket, yeah, they cannot provide the plastic, yeah, because of regulation. But in the traditional market, yeah, they can provide the plastic. So this is no strict regulation for small and medium enterprises. Yeah, and also lack of adequate support. There is no enough pressure from the society. So yeah, we can tolerate, yeah, for the small and medium enterprises if they still using plastic, for example, like yeah, in the traditional market. We cannot tolerate the big company or yeah, for example, like modern retail when they provide the plastic. We can say that you don't follow the regulation. But for the small and medium enterprises, yeah, sometimes we more tolerate with them. So there is no enough pressure. Sorry. And next, lack of institutional incentive. Yeah, this is also important. And this is the driver of sustainability in SMA for the implement the sustainability. The first is regulatory pressure. Yeah, of course, this is still important for the government to remind and also maybe give punishment if it is needed. And also owners manager value system, yeah, structural flexibility, proximity with local community, and awareness and knowledge, yeah, and performance. Yeah, this is a driver of sustainability. So if they think that when they implement the business sustainability can increase their performance, maybe they want to apply business sustainability. And as I mentioned before, the driver of sustainability is, yeah, for the internal driver is senior staff. It's most crucial for the sustainability driver. The leaders is very important to educate, not only to implement for their business, but also to educate their staff to implement the sustainability. And the second one is business benefit. Yeah. If the company think that sustainability becomes source of competitive advantage, yeah, can enhance the reputation and attract investment, of course, they want to apply business sustainability. So now we can see some of investor, they prefer for the business, for the small and medium enterprises that apply green production, for example. So they want to invest more, and they are looking for the green business. Yeah. And government environmental regulation, of course, this is very important. And stakeholder pressure, this is also important. Societal or non-government organization, NGO pressure, like environment NGO. Yeah. In Indonesia, there are a lot of NGO that can they can praise, they can push the big company, but against they still tolerate with the small and medium enterprises. And of course, consumer pressure and competitive pressure become more effective. So if the consumer aware that they need the healthy product, they need the product that more green, for example, and they are looking for the for example, like organic food. Of course, small and medium enterprises should provide the product that consumer need. So it means the consumer pressure become more effective. And next, this is the several research insight related to business sustainability and Industrial Revolution 4.0. Industrial Revolution 4.0 is an enabler of sustainable development, but the convergence of the digital transformation and sustainability remain underdeveloped. And factor affecting digital technology adoption and its impact on business sustainability of SMA, particularly in developing countries, is still a question. And Industry 4.0 are expected on improving productivity, flexibility, and resource efficiency, reduction of waste, energy consumption, and overproduction. Stakeholders engagement collaboration, for example, like closed loop production system, connecting machine, information system, product, and people in a network. And also Industry 4.0 are expected on job opportunity related to IT competencies, improvement of quality of working environment, reducing routine job. For example, like creating employment opportunity for disabled and elderly employees. And this is example of research about the sustainable manufacturing in Industry 4.0. This is a technological pillar. This is autonomous robot simulation, horizontal and vertical system integration, the industrial IoT, cybersecurity, and this is scope of sustainable manufacturing, manufacturing technology, product lifecycle, value creation network, global manufacturing impact, and also Industry 4.0, business model, value creation network, equipment, human factor, and this is a sustainability dynamic model. Direct effect on environmental dimension, direct effect on social dimension. So there are still a lot of things that can be explored related to business sustainability that we can be we can develop for the research. Yeah, and this is some of research effort address on sustainability requirement for industry 4.0. Yeah, this is a business model, for example, like in the area of business model. This is a sustainability opportunity. We can we can develop the research, yeah, integration of physical product and cyber service, yeah, during their whole life cycle. New business model focus meeting consumer need, mass customization, exploiting new digital and other technology, enabling the transition to a fossil free and circular economy. In the area production, yeah, we can see here we can explore more, yeah, by our research in the future. And this is in the area of supply chains, product, policy development. There are a lot of researcher already discover this sustainability issue, but there are a lot of research maybe we can do in the future because this issue still relevant until now. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, yeah, we had the same experience, yeah. And we know that COVID-19 for the in Indonesia we experience we have to reduce the mobility of the people, and we have to apply social distancing, and interaction between consumer and seller. Of course, it's so limited. And in this situation, yeah, we can see in Indonesia, and of course, we maybe this is the experience of ourselves. Yeah, COVID pandemic has changed the way Indonesian consumers shop for non-food item, such as clothes, sauce, and etc. For the survey result, we note a significant shift from preference to shop at physical store before the pandemic, yeah, to e-commerce, yeah, post COVID-19. So we are not, before maybe we are not so familiar with the online marketing or online transaction, and after pandemic, we see the behavior change. Yeah, e-commerce as a preferred way to shop jumped sharply from 24% before COVID-19 to 66% after COVID. Yeah. On the other hand, the number of respondents who choose physical store like supermarket, hypermarket, malls as their preferred place to shop declined sharply from 73% before pandemic to 24% post pandemic, yeah, post COVID. So there are a lot of store now closed, yeah. Giant and maybe recently Hero also closed, yeah, and maybe some of the Gramedia store also closed because now we are convenient with the online and we are convenient to buy book or everything by online. So we can see here, yeah, before pandemic, and this is after pandemic. Consumers change, and also, yeah, I want to show you the movie in agribusiness as well.
Saya sejak kecil sudah diajak ke kebun. Awal saya berprofesi petani karena paksaan dari orang tua, karena kami turun-temurun menjadi petani. Pertanian itu rendah, pertanian itu tidak menguntungkan. Nah, saya di sini berupaya untuk mengubah hal itu. Di sini kita menanam berbagai jenis sayuran, ada sekitar 40 jenis sayuran. Bapak ini berperan sebagai manajer kebun. Ibu itu berperan sebagai penyedia barang, jadi ibu yang menerima orderan dari semua konsumen, kemudian kita panenkan langsung dari kebun. Yang dulu petani itu sulit untuk mendapatkan pasar, karena biasanya sayuran hanya dijual di pasar, kita sekarang bisa memanfaatkan teknologi informasi. Jadi di situ kita bisa memiliki nilai tawar, kita bisa menetapkan harga yang kompetitif dan juga untung untuk petani sendiri. Kami mempromosikan produk kami melalui media sosial. Saya memanfaatkan Instagram, kemudian Facebook, dan juga WhatsApp. Instagram kita bisa menampilkan produk-produk kami, menampilkan kebun. Apabila konsumen ingin mengkonsumsi produk kami, dia tinggal pesan melalui WhatsApp, kemudian kami panenkan, kami packaging dengan baik, langsung kami kirimkan. Hasil dari pertanian yang saya lakukan, keuntungan kami semakin meningkat. Selain bertani, saya sedang mengambil program Magister Agroteknologi di Universitas Kristen Satya Wacana. Saya berbagi ilmu tentang pertanian organik melalui penyuluhan, melalui workshop dengan anak-anak mahasiswa itu melalui program magang. Saya optimis sebagai petani karena setiap orang itu membutuhkan makanan. Dan sumbernya adalah dari pertanian. Dan semoga anak muda itu juga terinspirasi untuk menjadi seorang petani.
Okay, this is the example how the Industrial Revolution 4.0 changed the business. In this case, is a small farmer, yeah, it to make them more sustainable. So they use the the technology, yeah, to make them more sustainable. And the second one, this is the research insight 2. So maybe we can explore more about the business sustainability and resilience. The term sustainability and resilience refer to two different concepts. However, they are not necessarily diametrically opposed, since they both target sustainable development. While the concept of sustainable development target development, which can at least in part avoid such change and their negative consequences on people and the environment, resilience is about taking and overcoming this change without being completely overwhelmed by them. Resilience business are those that can adapt and innovate, can integrate data and process, use intelligent technology, and be agile enough to overcome challenge. This attribute help company stand out from the competition and build a sustained advantage in their vertical. No sustainable development without resilience, and there is no resilience without sustainable development. So this is World Economic Situation Prospect 2021. So business resilience contribute to business sustainability, especially during the crisis from disruption, disaster, or pandemic. And this is the research related to resilience of SMEs. Resilience of small and medium enterprises have been high on the agenda of academic and policymakers in recent years. Yeah. Resilience of small and medium enterprises is subject to scientific and policy debate. And we can see here in the graphic, yeah, publication, the trend of small and medium enterprises resilience publication. And we can see since 2002 to 2018, the graphic is increased year by year. So this is we can say that this issue is still important. So we can continue the research related to this issue. And the third, business sustainability and consumers change. Yeah, this is research 2020. So a clear embrace of sustainability and sense of civic duty. 45% of global respondents say that avoid the use of plastic whenever possible. And 43% expect business to be accountable for their environmental impact. And 41% expect retailers to eliminate plastic bag and packaging for perishable item. Even this is the news in Tempo 2018. 63% consumer willing to pay premium for green product. Yeah. So yeah, we can imagine that if small and medium enterprises can provide them the green product, the product that follow the sustainability principle, the consumer want to pay for the premium price. So they can receive the margin better than usual. And this is consumer and sustainability. 45% of consumer want food packaging that is biodegradable, when recyclable packaging is an option. So biodegradable. So when consumers were asked who were most responsible for encouraging sustainable behavior in their city, 20% choose me as a consumer. So they have awareness, yeah, to protect the environment together. And 15% choose the producer or manufacturer. And so change the key finding in sustainability and consumer behavior in 2021. We can see here, sustainability remained a key consideration for consumers in 2021, with 32% of consumers highly engaged with adopting a more sustainable lifestyle. Equally important, 28% of consumers have stopped buying certain product due to ethical or environmental concern. Gen Z are adopting more sustainable behavior than any other groups. 50% reduce how much they buy, and 45% stop purchasing certain brand because of ethical or sustainability concern. A wealth transfer to younger generation, sustainability and ethical consideration will need to become the standard and should be transparent throughout the value chains. And this is the difference between old consumer and new consumer. So we can reflect this to ourselves. Yeah. For the old consumer, they concern about the lowest price, but for the new consumer, they concern about the total value. So they are not only thinking about the low price, but how the product can give the more value for the consumer. For the old consumers waiting for solution, and for the new consumer creating their own solution. So they like something that customized. Yeah, they like yeah they can choose what they need. And for the old consumer seeking more stuff, and for the new consumer seeking meaningful experience. And so in Indonesia, for example, like there are a lot of new cafe shop now. They are not only sell the coffee, but the most important thing is meaningful experience. So we know that, for example, kopi Janji Jiwa, for example, uh, it's really maybe not specialty coffee, but they can brand the image. They can communicate their image. They can deliver the meaningful experience. Trash marketing message on front on the book, but for the new consumer, they look at ingredient on back of the box. Yeah. And for the old consumer, they are passive recipient of brand communication. But for the new consumer, active co-creator of content, product, and experience. And this is consumer change during COVID-19 pandemic. For the health and hygiene, they have higher awareness on health and hygiene. Majority of Indonesian will continue to consume vitamin, preventive health care, and put on care on their personal hygiene even after COVID-19 ends. And meals preference, we can see here eating shifting from eating out to in-home meals. But now maybe yeah, the restriction already relaxation. So maybe yeah, the behavior is not really changed. Yeah, the people still like to eat at the restaurant or cafe, so they can meet the friend and yeah, together with the community. More attention on food cleanliness. Online delivery apps and packaged food are the new ways for meals. And for the shopping location, shift to online shopping has accelerated. Yeah, highlight important existence of e-commerce during the outbreak to give consumer access to product needs. And for the grocery shopping, know or limit access to wet market during the pandemic led Indonesian to rethink their approach to grocery. And rise of online grocery app post pandemic. And for the home and leisure, home becomes the new place of entertainment. So yeah, people not only stay at home for the take a rest, but also for working. So they design the yeah their home as convenient as possible. Indonesian now prefer to spend more time at home, yeah, having private space instead of going out, and digital and technology innovation are key. This is example of research, yeah, related to business sustainability. This is so market orientation, service quality, and business sustainability. And this is an example of research, related to business sustainability, factor affecting business sustainability of small and medium enterprises. Okay, 5 minutes. And this is collaborative network, innovation and sustainable competitiveness, fintech and business sustainability, leader sport of sustainable innovation and business sustainability, and strategy for sustainability of social enterprises in Indonesia. So this is the research example that we can do in the next research, for the student and also lecturer. I think this is all my presentation. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Prof. Najib, for the very fruitful presentation. It's quite interesting, Pak Najib, when we talk about the plastic waste in Sidoarjo. Also, it still be our major problem. It's because if we see it's about more than 3 tons of plastic waste we can find it at Berantas River. And if we talk about the small industries, I remember because we just finished our documentary movie. There's a tofu industry in Tropodo near Juanda Airport, and they use some kind of traditional burner. They usually use wood as the fuel to fry the tofu, but because wood is quite expensive, they start to change it into plastic waste that they import from many countries, from America, Europe, and so on. So that's become one of major health issues also for the people in Tropodo. I think maybe Pak Detak can do research about that.
It's important. I think you can help the government by research and also educate the small and medium enterprises. Maybe they don't think about the other alternative, but we can provide alternative for them. So maybe if it's affordable for them, maybe they can change, and together protect the environment.
Yes. Terima kasih, Pak. Thank you. Okay, we will move to our second speaker, Ma'am Sandra Vivier, the Director of IFI Surabaya. Good day, ma'am.
Yes, hello. So thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, very clear.
So thank you to Professor Najib for this brilliant presentation, and Professor Sriyono. Thank you to Dr. Astillero too, and thanks MC Poppy Febriana. So I'm very happy to participate to this international seminar about management. I'm not a professor, so my speech will be more about testimony of my professional experience and how I was able to conduct international projects in the French administration. May I share my presentation, please? Can you see it?
Not yet, ma'am. I think it's still loading.
So I will just, as you introduce myself, I am presently director of the Institut Français Surabaya, and I've been working in international relations and for international cooperation for the last 20 years. I will tell you more about my background because I think it's important for young people to know how one can become an actor of international cooperation, and also introduce you to the French administration framework. As I've been working for local governments, and I did conduct some international projects with Asia in particular. I was head of the Office for Asian Cooperation with Asian at Région Rhône-Alpes, which is the second largest region in France. And then my present position of the French Ministry of European and International Affairs and Foreign Affairs. Is it okay for the PPT?
Yes, ma'am. If you can put it in full screen mode.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, it takes a little bit time. Okay, is it okay now? No? Okay, so I was first grown up in the French Alps. So it's not an international place actually, because it's quite remote. We have no airport because we have a lot of mountains. But actually, I think everyone has to think about the notion of border. The border is a kind of wall. It separates one country from the other, but at the same time, it is also the fringe of communication with foreign countries and the outdoor. And that's the case of the Alps. The Alps are a natural border between France and Italy, but it has also always been place of communication between different European countries, and people, although it is a natural barrier, people used to travel through the Alps from Switzerland to Italy and France, and that was actually a place of communication and of mixed cultures. So in the place of Grenoble, you will find a lot of people from Italy, a lot of Italian restaurants. We have some common traditions in the Alps that you will encounter in Switzerland, in France, and in Italy too. And although I was grown up in this background, I still had exposure to international, but it's true that for international studies, I had to go to Paris because I wanted to learn Chinese language. And in a place like Grenoble, which is a big place for research and high-tech especially, but for foreign languages, when I was young, so it's quite a long time ago, I was a student about 30 years ago, it was difficult to find, for example, Chinese language classes in Grenoble. So as soon as I graduated from high school, I went to study to Paris. In Paris, I've been studying international relations at Paris University. Now the University of Paris has a new organization. Actually, French universities used to be quite small, and the elite schools for engineering or business schools or even human sciences used to be quite small. And because of the influence of the Shanghai, especially the international ranking and the Shanghai ranking in particular, there was a need to be more comprehensive and to have bigger figures. And it was a big influence on the French university system. And now we have bigger universities by merging several small ones. The quality of the teaching and research remains the same, but it's a way for France to get a better rank in international rankings. So I've been studying international relations at Paris University, where I mastered by the end of the middle of the 90s. And at the same time, for Chinese language and civilization, I studied bachelor at Institute of National the National Institute for Oriental Language and Civilization. As you can see from the logo, that's the place where you can learn all the rare language and also some more important languages like Chinese, Japanese, Arabic. This institute has a very long history. It's the center of Oriental studies in France, and most of our teachers were renowned experts of a very long history. It's China, the center of Oriental studies in France, also, and most of our teachers, specialists were Indonesia and Southeast Asia, working in this institute. And renowned experts, capacity in Chinese language, a very long history. It's the center of Oriental studies in France, also, and most of our teachers, specialists, were Indonesia and Southeast Asia, working in this institute. And renowned experts, capacity in Chinese language, a very long history. It's the center of Oriental studies in France, also, and most of our teachers, specialists, were Indonesia and Southeast Asia, working in this institute. And renowned experts, capacity in Chinese language, a very long history. It's the center of Oriental studies in France, also, and most of our teachers, specialists, were Indonesia and Southeast Asia, working in this institute. And renowned experts, capacity in Chinese language, a very long history. It's the center of Oriental studies in France, also, and most of our teachers, specialists, were Indonesia and Southeast Asia, working in this institute. And renowned experts, capacity in Chinese language, a very long history. It's the center of Oriental studies in France, also, and most of our teachers, specialists, were Indonesia and institutions. Then, when I came back to France, actually, I was employed by my home place regional government. So the region is called the Rhône-Alpes region. But I just want you to have to know the background of French administration. French administration is quite big. We have about 7 million employees, the population of France is 66 million. So you see, it's almost 1/10 of the people. And if you're talking about the active population, it would be 2 out of 10 of French people are working for French administration. Most of them are civil servants. In France, if you want to be a civil servant, you must go through exams, which are competitions. So every year there will be a competition open only to French citizens. And according to the level of the exam, there's about 1 out of 10% or only 5% of the competitors that could enter the French administration. When you become French civil servant, you have a job for your lifelong, but also you have to keep in your position and in your administration for all the time requested. So actually, in my particular situation, I was first employed with a private contract, but the private contract is for a short time, no more than 3 years. So then I had to pass the exam to enter the French administration. We have 3 kinds of administrations in France, and the status of the civil servant, the income, and also the obligations are not the same. So we have the state, which is the biggest administration. It includes all the state-run schools, all the teachers. So it means a lot of people from kindergarten to university. All the teachers in France are civil servants. It's about, So, and of course, you've got all the different ministries and also the local services of central ministries in the different territories of France. We have what we call the Territorial Administration. Those are civil servants employed by local governments. And then we have the hospital health administration, which has also specific status for their civil servants. So as far as I was concerned, so I entered with a private contract, a local government, region Rhône-Alpes, and I passed the exam to be officer in territorial administration. The difference for civil servant in territorial administration is that you have to find your own employer. So when you pass the exam and you succeeded, you have 2 years max to find a local government that would employ you. And if you want to change to work for another local government, your employer is not able to, he can't oblige you to keep in your position. You have the freedom to change position as long as you find another local government that would employ you, which is not the case of state administration. When you work for the state, the ministry is deciding of your position. He can also ask you to work in another city according to the needs, and you're not able to refuse, you're not unable to refuse the proposal that is made. So it's much more, you have, you have, I would say, less opportunities for mobility. And I think that may be one of the reasons that state administration is sometimes more conservative than territorial administration, because territorial civil servants are used to move from one position to another, and they can have more diversity of professional experience. So concerning the territorial administration in France, just to help you to understand a little bit more about what I'm talking about. So France, you will have on the top state administration, and then you have 13 regions and 5 territories overseas, including Nouvelle-Calédonie, which is not so far, and Guyane, which is in South America, and all the other territories in the Atlantic or the Asian Ocean. And then for the metropolitan, what we call metropolitan France, including the island of Corsica, you have 13 regions. Those are the local governments, and at the regional level. Then you have local governments at what we call the department level, which are much more numerous and smaller. Actually, the departments in France have been designed just after French Revolution, and at that time, the organization and of department was the aim was that everybody from the department go to the department capital by horse in one day. So the size is much smaller, but at that time it was a response to the need to for every citizen to be able to go to the capital of the department if they needed to go for administrative reason, or to go to the jurisdiction of the department, and they could go by horse in one day. Of course, with the 20th century, it wasn't the right size for economic organization and competition. So that's why General de Gaulle, maybe you know the name of this President de Gaulle, we call General de Gaulle, who was a French leader after World War II, and who was leading what we call the 20th Industrial Revolution and modernization of French economy, and also the rebuilding of France after World War II. So he decided that the department was too small for French modernization, and he created what we call the region as first a circumscription for the state administration, and then it became an independent power we call the region. And then you have what we call municipalities, communes. They are very numerous. Most of them are very small, less than 200 inhabitants, but the status is the same. That's very strange in France, but the municipality has the same power. Even there are a big city of, for example, more than 1 million inhabitants, or a small city in the countryside, or not even a city, just a small village in the countryside. But the power of the mayor will be almost the same. And what is also important to notice, if you want to conduct some projects in France with those local governments, is that there's no hierarchy between the different governments, because all of them are directly elected by the citizens. All of them have their own assemblies and representatives. So, for example, the even French central government is not able to conduct the policy of the region, and the region cannot give any order to the government of the department, and the department is not either able to give any advice or direction to the municipality, because all of them are considered as representatives of the power of the people. So they are actually, from the democratic point of view, they are at the same level. The difference is that the territory they are leading is not the same size. So central government is for France metropolitan and overseas territories. The region is only for the regional, for just conducting policies at the regional level, department at the department level, and municipality at the municipal level. And also the competencies are not the same. For example, if you want to address French administration for international relations, of course, you can ask to the central government and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But the regions also conduct some international relations policies, so you can address the different levels. The departments do not have international policies, but regions and even municipalities do. If you address the education sector, the competencies are not the same too. For example, for university, it will be mostly the central government is in charge of higher education. The regions are in charge of high schools, and the departments are in charge of middle schools, and the municipalities are in charge of elementary schools and kindergarten. So if you want to conduct a project in France, you have to understand this administrative framework, and you have to address the right administration according to the project that you would like to conduct. For example, if you want to develop a project for health, then you will have to address the department and also central government, because they are in charge of the health sector. But if you want to develop a project for business development and SMEs and environment, for example, as the previous speakers were talking about, then you will have to address the regions, because one of the main competency is economic development. So, as I told you, I've been working for region Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes. So you see, region Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes, since 2016, due to the merging of the of smaller regions, region Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes became very big. It has more than 8 million inhabitants, so it's the biggest region after Paris. And the territory is very large, from central France to Switzerland and the Italian border. It includes more than 12 departments and a lot of middle-sized cities. The capital is Lyon, which is the second largest city in France. So at the territorial level, when the region, for example, is conducting a project like building a new high school, then they will have also to deal with the department level, local government of the department where they're going to implement this high school. And also they have to discuss with the city, the municipality and the local government of the city where they're going to build this high school. So actually when you're conducting a project in France, you always have to organize different administrative levels meeting to make sure that everybody agrees with the project, and sometimes it takes a long time. But as the region is also supporting some economic development project in those territories, most of the time the negotiation is going on well, because the region is also a stakeholder and an investor for those territories. So for concerning the regional administration, so we have the Rhône-Alpes, Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes region has now a budget of 4 billion euros and about 9,000 employees. 80% of the employees actually are technicians working in high school. They don't have any decision power. The 2,000 employees working at the headquarters, mainly for territorial policies, are most of them are administrative officers, and they will have a decision-making power for the different fields of the regional policies. I will show you the organization of the regional administration of Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes. It's all in French. So I highlighted the different services and the directorate I've been working for. So first I was employed by the higher education which is in red. It's a directorate for economy, professional training, continuous training, innovation, and it includes some programs to support higher education. Because as I told you, the universities and higher education is under the responsibility of the central government, but the region still has the possibility to support some programs, especially the programs which are connected to economic development and innovation, because this is one of the main fields of competency of the regional government. And higher education was also a tool for internationalization of the region. That's why, as when I was first employed by the regional government, actually I was appointed to this higher education directorate, and I was in charge of conducting some programs to develop students' mobility and cooperation with China in particular. Then I rapidly integrated the International Relations Department, which is purple. It's what they call transverse policies. Actually, foreign affairs are also under the responsibility of central government, but the region, as a local government, wanted to invest and support some international programs. They developed twin cities, twin governments cooperation to help the internationalization of SMEs, of higher education, and also students' mobility. So there was in the region of Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes a huge programs of a huge program of scholarships. About 25 million euros are invested in scholarship for all the students of the Rhône-Alpes region, and that was a very important tool for the internationalization of the territory, for international exposure. And as you know, the European Union has already an Erasmus program, which gives scholarships for any European citizen, young citizen, who has the opportunity to study in a European universities. So the region was mostly focused on scholarships for other countries than Europe, including Asia. As far as the local government twin cities program was involved, I was managing the cooperation with many Asian countries. So the city of Shanghai, which I knew quite well because I was studying in Shanghai as a student, and also other regions in Asia, like Ho Chi Minh Ville in Vietnam, and also in Laos, with the city of Takek, and also India with the city of Bangalore. So some of these programs were focused on economic cooperation, higher education. It was the case for the more developed cities like Shanghai and Bangalore. And some of those cooperation were more focused on local development, support for local development in Laos and Vietnam. And then, because of this experience in international relations, the former president of Rhône-Alpes region asked me to work in his cabinet. So that's on the top. So I was a special advisor for international relations, directly working for the president of the region. And then in 2015, there were elections and my president lost the election. So as a civil servant, I kept on working in a region of Rhône-Alpes, but I couldn't keep working at the cabinet because it was another color of the party that won the elections. So I've been working for 1 year at the mobilities. So that's the great part of the organigram. And I was in charge of the international railway program, because in France, the regions are also in charge of railways. And there's still on a very big program with channel between France and Italy. That's one of the biggest European program in France, and it has been running now for almost more than 10 years. And the goal of this program is to have a high-speed train between Lyon and Milano in Italy. So I've been working there for 1 year, and as I wanted to keep on working in international relations and cooperation, then I looked for another position. And I've been working also for university and the institute, National Institute of Applied Sciences, which is one of the biggest engineering schools in France. And then I was employed finally by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So the Ministry of Europe and Foreign Affairs is central administration. So it's state administration. I'm a civil servant of the Territorial Administration, but still they can employ me on the basis of a private contract. So I asked the region and my local government to let me go off for a few years. And I was employed in 2018 by the Ministry of Europe and Foreign Affairs. First, my position was in China, in the city of Shenzhen, to open a new French cultural center. And after 3 years, they offered me a second position in Indonesia. So that's where I am now, in charge of the Institut Francis. So Institut Français is one of the organization of the focused on education. So that's the case for AEFE, which is in charge of the French schools overseas, abroad. You've got Campus France. Campus France is the tool of the Ministry of Education to promote study in France abroad. You have Institut Français, which is in charge of education also. I mean, we work with Campus France. Actually, we have agents working for Campus France in our institute. And we are also in charge of the promotion of French culture and cultural cooperation. You've got AFD, which is the tool of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for Development. So AFD is mostly, I mean, is implemented in developing countries and also more developed countries, but focusing on investment. You've got Atout France, which is in charge of promoting tourism. CIRAD is in charge of agronomic research. You've got also Business France, which is the tool of the Ministry of Economy to promote business partnerships and especially to promote export and of French SMEs abroad. And then you have also other organizations under the umbrella of the Ministry of Europe and Foreign Affairs, and also some media like RFI, which is the French broadcasting for abroad, and France 24, which is the TV channel in French, and also some other partnership in the field of media. So that's also important to know about the framework of this ministry, because that's also, if you want to conduct any international project with France, you don't only address the French embassy or consulate, but most of the time you have to address the representative of the office of those agencies which are in charge of cooperation in the different fields. For example, if you want to conduct a project in the field of environment, you will have maybe to work with the IFT or the CIRAD if it's an environment project linked with agriculture. So now in Indonesia, the French, we have, of course, the French embassy and some honorary consul in different cities like Surabaya. We have Institut Francis, so there are two institutes in Jakarta, Tamrin and Wijaya, one in Bandung, Surabaya, and Yogyakarta. IFI Surabaya is one of the oldest one. It was set up in 1967. And so our main office and are in Nagel area, complex HBS. So we have an auditorium and also a mediathek where people can participate to cultural activities. They can borrow French books or CDs and learn about French culture. But we have also some classrooms for French language because we are also a center for a language center for French language. We have students from kids to elderlies and a lot of young adults who want maybe to study in France for their master or PhD and who would come and study French in our language center. You have about the same kind of cultural centers, but the name is Alliance Française. Institut Francis is considered as a branch of the French embassy. Then Alliance Française are more local organizations. Still, they are supported by the French embassies, and their mission is almost the same as ours. They have French language classes, and they also promote French culture. Alliance Française and Institut Francis are also the only organizations enabled to organize the French language exams and to deliver a DELF diploma, which is kind of French TOEFL. Then in Indonesia, you have also in Jakarta an office of the French Agency for Development, of the Center for Agriculture and Development, which is a research center working with different French Indonesian universities like Brawijaya or UNER in Surabaya. And then in Jakarta, you have also what we call École Française d'Extrême-Orient, Far East Study School. There are different schools specialized in Oriental studies in different countries in Asia, and one of them is in Jakarta. And they welcome French researchers for residency and for studies about Indonesian culture and history. They do publish a review named Archipel. I don't know what's the name in English, which is a reference in France for Indonesian studies. So this was a presentation of the French administration from my experience in local governments to my actual position, my current position at Institut Francis. And I think this is important to know about this organization if you want to develop international programs, because you have to find first the right person you have to talk to. If you have any questions, don't hesitate.
Okay, thank you, Vivia, for sharing your experience with us here. It's very interesting to know how the French culture, about the administration. At least now I'm sure that the Tat know where to go if he wants to start this international class, or maybe Pak Sriono want to develop his business. Thank you, ma'am. And then we will continue to our third speaker, Dr. Sriono, who will talk about how to build of SMS financial performance that is able to compete at the global level. Pak Sri, silakan, Pak.
Okay. Can you hear my voice, Ms. Poppy?
Yes, Pak, loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Poppy. And this time, before I'm telling more and more, I will say to my colleague, Professor Naji, are you still here? And
Yes.
then, how are you, Mister?
Good. Thank you, Pak Sri.
Yeah. What the season in Australia?
Winter. Now,
Winter.
yeah. Please come here. So enjoy the winter together.
Yeah. Okay. The second, this is my colleagues, Ibu this Sandra Vivi. How are you, Miss Sandra?
Yes,
Thank you for your joy this moment.
you're much welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, before I starting this moment, talking the first is Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
The first of all, this the Excellency, Vice Rectors, Mr. Eko, Pak Eko, and then the Excellency Dean Faculty, Business Law and Social Science, and so Head of Program Study, Mr. Detak. And the last, this my beloved, my student, and my all lecturers in Universitas. Today, I try to share something information from this moment. Actually, this information related with the topic from this Professor Najib, yeah, about this SMES, Actually, if we talk this about SMES, there are a lot of information we can take over there. Okay. The time that we can talking about this, how to management is the key to the words. This is, I think, this true, yes, because management for important to all of the science. If we want to take something business, we must understand about this management. So, how to implementation this management in the SMES, in the small, medium enterprise. Yeah. We must admit about this SMES in the words because the MES, they have lots benefit from every country. So today I try to discuss about this, how to build financial performance that is able to compete as the global level. This is very important. And the Professor they just explain about this, how to maximize sustainability. Before SMES to be sustainability, the first time initially we must how to build the financial performance. If the financial performance is better, I think the easy to do the sustainability activity in the business. Ladies and gentlemen, the agenda for this moment, the first one, I would like talking about this, what the importance of the building SMES. In this slide, I will explain about this, what the contribution this SMES and what kind of contribution and the employee and so on. And the second one, I will put the topic about this SMES issue around in the words. We all the people in the world understand about this right now. There is something happen in words. It's mean the pandemic COVID. But before the pandemic COVID in the words all the country have to accident this one, but maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, the SMES always to have listing about this activity. The third one I will discuss about this problem solving the model. What kind of model to solve the problem about the SMES in order to go the good performance of finance. And then especially I will talking how to strengthening financial performance in the SMES, because even though they can coordination, they can manage the activity, but they cannot good strengthening financial performance, and then they can have a lot of problem about this sustainability about the activity. And the last, I will try what a conclusion this my topic today. I hope this presentation can be more benefit for our audience, especially for our students, because this is we can think lots about this some of activity in the business. Ladies and gentlemen, the first one I say before this, the importance of building SMES. I will try sum this country. What is contribution SMES in the country? I choose this one, but India, it's a very important because they have a lot of people and they have a lot of activity to arrange the people. Some of them, they have SMES. How to contribution SMES in the Indian economy? In this slide, I put some data. So in this moment, I will try empirical evidence about this SMES in the words of each country. The India in my slide is explains this industrial outputs, the exports, India's unit, and employment. This is take 42 millions, and then 4 times higher than last enterprise, and product more than 8,000. This is to make a lot contribution SMES from the India economies. India SMES market value almost 5 billion. This is a very huge contribution in the country. How about another country? I put some some of the country in the Europe, in the Europe Commission. This is contribution about this SMES is really good, almost very good, because contribution SMES to employment and value added, the key sector, Euro and financial business sector, until 2016, construction, business services, also retail trade, all other sector. This is, we can take a lot of employment, and then they have a lot of value added to contribution to the economies of the country. How about this another country? This is Malaysia. Malaysia, the value added and contribution SMES in Malaysia is really is good. We can see, let me see this the graph in this data starting from the 2018 until the 2020. There are this SMES have contribution GDP. This stable. It is there is no fluctuative every year. The data they show the handle smash in this country, how to manage in this smash in this country. This is have under control. So the contribution smash in the Malaysia countries and the Malaysia GDP, and then another factor like this employment, they get a lot this need to do for the smash. This India, and then this the Europe, and then this land in the Malaysia. How about this Indonesia? Yeah, Indonesia, we must admit before this accident, this pandemic COVID, the smash have a lot contribution in our economics, number of enterprises, number of workers, and total enterprises, and total assets in the every business. This is really have a lot this contribution. So we must admit that this actually we need it there to activity normally in our country, because just to have lots contribution. We can see the GDP per capita growth in the ASEAN, Malaysia, Philippines, and then Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Singapore. From this data, we can imagine, so if the GDP per capita growth is increased, there's always conditions is good and have contribution economy in the country. But even though the SMEs have lots contribution and benefit to country, they also have a problem. When we running activity or the business. This table, let me see. I show this problem from this one of the country. Yes, Canada. Canada, the problem about this increasing competition. This is 5 hires, 24.3, and then the law this problem about this taxation rate, and then obtaining financing. This is very different with the other country. The Canada, this how to take the financing. This very easy. So this is make the a lot this increasing competition in the semester in the Canada. This is problem because if it's smash, they cannot improve the management, they cannot improve the technology, they cannot improve the how to manage the production. I think they cannot compete with each other. So in the Europe, the first problem, this is about this increasing competition. How about this loan? Yeah, this is very dangerous in the our activity actually in the semester. In this data, we can show there this the first Peru, Brazil, United States, France, and so on until the low this Ireland, Mexico, Latvia. How about this Indonesia? Is we compare between Indonesia and the Peru, Indonesia and the Peru, or we can compare this another country like this Malaysia. Malaysia Malaysia in this one. Malaysia, the growth is the loan. I think this one until the 1120, until the 11%, yeah, 11%. Because Malaysia economy consists of almost 97% of SMEs, where they contribute nearly 36% and the country's GDP. And the Indonesia, I mean the Indonesia, this data to show that about this growth in the SMEs business loan, this one, there's really little bit this, not 2 until 3%, yeah, until 3% Indonesia. This is very different, and this Indonesia. How about this Peru? Yeah, Peru the highest because the Peru, according to the main microeconomics indicator, 75 and 75.9% of economically active workers in Peru and employees by SMEs. This is the risk gap condition. So this is very important to discuss how this make the SMEs in the all country make the have good performance financial in order to compete in the words. Because if they just thinking just so and so make they have no benefit, they have no innovation, and then the SMEs be bankrupt. Let me show about this small mindset enterprise. Merchants are underserved by established financial service in some market today. This is I put the data about this. I put Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand, and then the Indonesia, Philippines, and Vietnam. This is very different about this loan as the smart contribution and GDP. From the Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, more higher than Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam. But actually, when we see data before, there are different problem in the loan, problem in the activity each country. From this data, based on a lot of these researchers previously when I read, and then I tried to make a summary problem in this mess about this, why they cannot have good performance financial in their business. The first one, the sum of research talking about this human to be first factor, because a human to have lacks of competencies, and then the bad behavior, and then the no skill, and so on. But another researcher talking about this marketing can be influence the problem and the mess why they cannot improve their activity even though they have good product. The researcher have the talking about this marketing because having a new marketing model, just they have a conventional market and they sell in the market and they sell in their house and talking most to the person, then having no idea how to make a good marketing. That's a big problem. And another researcher talking about this financial, yeah, because they have no enough capital, they have small capital, and then they have a restriction access to banking, yeah, no banking access, because they have no financial statement or financial report every year, every month. So if they want to take loan and the bank and the financial institution, this very difficult because there are requirement must be fulfilled this loan. And beside that, this the another researcher about this habit. Habit can be a factor influence on the problem of the semester in the country. The owner the semester easy to be satisfied, and then is after they have a lot order, after they have good return benefit, have a profit, so they not more strongly, more challenged, but they easy to satisfy, and not really to make more production, and then this is low challenge, and then low struggle. This is very important factor can be influence problem at this mess. Beside that, this regulation, this is can be the one of the factor makes problem and the mess. And inadequate policies. So if the government not put the good policy, how to arrange the tax, how to arrange about this market, how to provide the places for the market, how to provide the places for the zoning to as mass. This is very important. So this is make problem to this mass. Lack of extension. There are no direction how to make the new technology, how make to improve the competency the person like that. This is very important. Regulation must thinking about this government, and then less consolidation, because government have a lot this institution. I mean this. There is trading, there is institution, operation, and so on. They cannot coordination each other. So the smash this activity just thinking himself how to make the good running well this smash. And the last is institutional. It means the it's rarely official is institutionalized smash in our country. It's mean in Indonesia, maybe another country, Malaysia. This is smash because smash making from the house, not really a lot this person. So they not makes letter permit about this individual like this. What kind of institutional we put over the activity? Maybe UD like Indonesia, maybe another lembaga we can choose which one the more suitable about this to take put legality in the institution. So some of the summary: human, marketing, financial, habit, and regulation, institutional. We can thinking how to solve all the problem by the management, because in the topic we can talking about this management is the key of the word. So we hope the all problem aspects we can solve by the management scientists. And the management, science management, this is the ground is theory. If we have the activity, there are four kind activity we must do. First, thinking how to implementation. Before we start, we must make the plan, and then we can set the objectives. What kind of objectives is this business, and then develop on the plan, and then start the system. So all the activity we must have a plan first. We cannot direct do what we will have activity, but thinking what kind of plan is our business. And then after we have planned, we must do it, implementation of this plan and build capabilities to achieve the objectives. That is very important. To do this activity must the same about the plan. If there is something problem during do the plan, we can come back to the plan, what kind we can solve the problem. And then after that, we can check how this track the progress, how they track the progress, and then identify problem, then communicate a result. This is very important. After do, we can check. They check which one this activity suitable like this plan, and which one not really some it is our plan. And then we can check again. And then after check, we can action, discuss and decide what, how to solve the problem about this productivity, about this marketing, and then what solve the problem. And then we can discuss, we can forum FGD, forum group discussion, and then we can share each other. We can collect all this data. We can getting together and we can meeting and we can discuss together with all this unit and discuss result and solve problem and start learning how to problem solve this activity. And then this, if there is problem, we can see in this plan how to plan. Is plan this really good or not? So the plan to take action all this this is cycle. We must do it during we have activity our business, because this is a performance management cycle. We cannot just make a plan and then to add another person and then check another person. We cannot like that, because business is very important. If we like the business running well, so a plan to take action, we must direct the activity. This is a problem solving model by management. This is grandmaster theory. If the all activity we can use a solving by this model for this management. And then how to make performance manager cycle. So this is when we make plan, they must thinking to first about this goal and value. It means Indonesia visi misi, yeah, organization goal and value. We must have a goal and value about this our activity. What the goal of the value? From this goal and value, we can make a plan, set smart objective, and then agree personal plan, the role profile, and action check, review all the activity. We must think continuous. We cannot just stop in the act. We cannot just in the track, but after action, we can track the progress and we can review. At the time, we check again on the plan. Always about the plan. This is really good, or there is something losses about information when we make a plan of this activity. So this performance management cycle is a true and can be key to the work through this good business in our country. And how the development, how to development. The slide before I explained about this, what kind model to solve the problem. We have four criteria and do plan to check action, and then we must continue thinking about this plan, and then do and check and action. After we can, from this action, from this activity, this stable, and there is no something. How the thinking right now? How to development? And development, and when I based on the experience and based on the some of the article, this is the 4 keys to development semester program: a capacity, and market, and finance, and technology. About this market, we must really think about this market analysis. What is segment? How this position our product, which one the market for a teenager or the old age or to the baby. We must thinking about this market analysis when we before we deliver this product. And then pre-qualification certification, this is very important because if we have a certification, I think this some of product will be have difficult to sell to the people. And then networking and facilitatory partnership and alliances. This is very important if we would like to development program under our semester. Access to market, this is thing first, because if we can make, we can put the good product, but we can not sell this product. This is a big problem. So market must analysis detail. And then access to financial, how to guide the training and the preparing, bankable proposal, facilitate access to finance. This is must be clear. Before access to clear, the first we must thinking about this how this make report, how much we make report financial in the our business. Is true is or not to make a report starting from the balancing, and then the profit, and then the cash flow, and so on. This is very important, and then we can access to the finance. So the technology is very important too, business process and technology, because if we just use the old technology, this is more efficiency, not efficiency, they're not effective. They will take a lot costly, and then makes our cash flow not good. So technology based on contact performance, healthy safety, environmental process, and quality insurance, information technology. This is must be thinking how to make the business process technology they have good condition. And then the last more important too, management and human capital. The management and human capital, this is very important, because if we have idea to make some business, we must thinking about how to make business plan, how to make planning to the business, and then how to marketing and sales, how to management skills, how to high development and management. From this program, market, finance, technology, and capacity, if we can coordination, if we can think detail about this one, and we can arrange about this one, I think the program development, semester development program is very easy to get, because the 4 key of the development program, we can do it, yeah, for the market, financial, technology, and capacity. Ladies and gentlemen, just information about this product line cycles. This is our student, all the student, I think this is understandable. This one we must understand the how cost of development and production when our product introduction initial in the market, how the cash flow when the product model step by step grow up, and then how does revenue profit when we get a lot of revenue and we get a loss from this product life cycle. We can understand step by step, and we can put the graph in our paper by the data. We can collect the data, and then we can calculate step by step. Oh, right now our condition in the growth. So the condition cost of development step by step will be declared. Not there is a lot cost to development because starting the growth and then maturity and so on. I hope this product life cycle can be learn detail in order to supporting our activity and the business.
Sorry,
The
time is 5 more minutes.
oh yeah, thank you. Sorry, yeah. The last, how to strengthen financial performance. This is very important financial management cycle. Like this management cycle and the product management, this a financial cycle. This is important to think. Yeah. When we make planning, and we always how to make the budgeting, because planning and budgeting is a thing together. So we can know how long how money we can need the money for the starting the activity, and then resources allocation, and then how to operating monitoring, and then evaluating and reporting. This is must be thinking continuous. We can stop to one station like this. We stop operating and monitoring. We think in one. We're not thinking about the evaluation. We cannot like that. Like this grand model to solve the problem management. There are 4 kinds, and the financial there are 4 kinds. They almost same the thing, yeah. Planning, budgeting, resource allocation. So what kind of financial plan? This is we must understand. I put the Mr. Paul Romer, the winner Nobel Prize in Economy. What kind of influence of financial plan? This is we must be careful. Financial planning influences by many factors, maybe by value, growth and personal, and then major life events, and then lifestyle condition, and then life cycle needs. Yeah, a life condition, the condition normally, the condition especially like this one on pandemic and so on, we can must the arrange running well. And then this 4 kind, this variable, we must think detail. This factor can be expected, unexpected. So when we making start up the new business, so we must be careful about this problem. Can be influenced under our financial plan. And this one, after we can make our semester good, we can have the program volume running well. So the continuous program management cycle is like the one. We can check with manager, all the everything, check manager. We can mass direct to go to field, and then we can check ourselves what kind of problem and our activity. So the conclusion is, the first one, the SMEs have a big contribution to economic growth, but it also has weaknesses like this marketing and so on. The second one, the importance of SMEs must continue to be approved. We cannot stop to the one basis like this, stop to do or to check. And then training, monitoring, coordination, collaboration, consolidation must continue to be raised in the all field. This is very important. We cannot just thinking about the coordination, but not thinking about the consolidation. And the last, all stakeholders must have a role according to their capacity. What role a government they make good policies? What role banking? We must offer about this loan for the easy to share to the SMEs. Okay, Ms. Poppy, thank you for this time. I hope this information can be added to our knowledge, indicate our science about this, how to make to build this smash and the good we have good financial performance. Thank you. Saya finally, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, Pak Sri already bring us to see how SMS in other country, from India, Malaysia, and we also learn from Canada, and we also able to summarize some problem that SMS facing. But Pak Sri already give some way to cope all that problem. Okay, I hope that everyone here is still excited, because if you want to get your certificate, you must finish all the session until for the last presenter. So I would like to invite our last presenter, Dr. Marlon Rael Astillero, that will talk about from lifetime employment to lifetime employability. Dr. Marlon, are you already joined with us?
Yes, good morning. Selamat siang.
Selamat siang.
Selamat siang. How are you, Indonesia? Thank you very much for inviting me here today. I will never say to an Indonesian invitation. I love Indonesia so much, although I haven't been in Indonesia yet. With the indulgence of the seminar organizer, my fellow speakers, participants, I just would like to acknowledge the presence of my Indonesian brother and university colleague. Dr. Irawan is here with me because he is my principal cheerleader today. I also would like to acknowledge my colleagues from the University, Rajamangala University of Technology, Kongtep, are watching via YouTube, Professor Ada and Ajahn Febi. Thank you very much for being the wind beneath my wings today. It pays if someone is there for you, cheering for you. Miss Papi, I would like to order nasi goreng for lunch.
Yes.
But it cannot be delivered in. I will get back when I go to Indonesia.
For sure.
Okay. Okay. Oh, after listening to a more scholarly presentations from two of our distinguished professors, Professor Najib and Professor Sriyono, and a very interesting presentation of Madame Sandra, let's go for something more personal this time. Okay, more conversational. I hope my presentation will trigger some light bulb moments for all of us, if not some kind of a paradigm shift on how we will manage our own career, especially now that we are confronted with COVID-19. My question is, do you think your work or your position will still exist 10 years from now? What if it's no longer there because they have already hired a robot to replace you? Where will you go? Will you still be employable? What knowledge or what new skills have you developed over the years? That is what we're going to discuss today. So hang on there. If you want to get your certificate, you have no choice. You have to listen to me. Okay, otherwise, Miss Papi will not send you your certificate. I will wait for my own presentation to finish so I can get my own certificate. Okay, so let's go real talk. There is no lifetime employment. That is how we are wired. No lifetime employment. Because we have a working shelf life. You cannot live forever. Another one, there is a definite age or period you can be employed. In my country, in the Philippines, In government service, you can be employed up to 65 years old. Let's just say the mandatory retirement age is 65, or you can retire at age 60. That depends on you. Next is, there is always that idea that the older you get, the less productive you become. So if you are less productive, no business wants you to be part of their team. You work slowly, you probably walk slowly, you have a lot of maintenance medicines ready, you are high maintenance in short. Okay. And this is also how we are wired. You have the same employer throughout one's career, and that employer has become your comfort zone. That's why you don't want the idea of being transferred to another office, and because you don't want to learn new things or adjust to a new environment. Next, our parents usually advise us, find a job, find a good company, stay there for the rest of your life. That's very Asian. We are not risk takers. And I think I'm true. I'm correct because Miss Papi is smiling broadly. Next, the reality is artificial intelligence and technology will increasingly replace repetitive jobs. That's the reality. You probably have seen that all over the world. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand how artificial intelligence and technology has replaced a lot of work. Advances in technology make lifetime employment seems even more obscure, especially for people who do not want to learn new things, especially for people who don't even know how to share a screen. Next, reality. In the recent Future of Jobs report by the World Economic Forum, the report estimates that 85 million jobs may be displaced by a shift in the division of labor between humans and machines. So this will be the rise of the machines. Before, Rise of the Machines is just a sci-fi movie, but now it seems that it's getting reality. 97 million jobs or 97 million new roles will emerge across 26 countries by 2025. And what year are we now? That's only 3 years from now. Do you think we have a new role by that year? Half of all workers will require some form of upskilling or reskilling to prepare for a challenging job landscape in the next 5 years. What upskilling or reskilling have you done in the last maybe 2 years? The McKinsey Global Institute said automation is no longer a thing of the future. It's actually here right now. When we say automation, we probably think, oh, it's still far away. Galaxies away from us. The reality, it's not. MGI estimates that half of today's work can actually be automated using present-day technology. So the technology that might replace you in your work is actually here. Take this as an example. COVID-19, this has become like a mandatory requisite. Temperature check. Then, from manual temperature check it became infrared body temperature detection scanner in just 2 years. No person involved in just the span of 2 years. So if you were hired just to check temperature, in less than 2 years, you're already replaced. You have to find another job. You wish you're already a machine. Because in less than 2 years, your job has already been replaced by a machine, which is probably more accurate than when you do it yourself. In this picture, in a gap of 10 years, in just 10 years, both the pilot and the cameraman lost their jobs thanks to drone photography. Unless you develop a set of wings and you can fly yourself without a helicopter, buy yourself a camera, then you can compete with a drone. But if you're not, then you have to realize this is now the reality of things. But according to them, don't worry, lifetime employability exists. All is not lost. So what do we mean by lifetime employment or lifelong employability? So lifelong or lifetime employability can be best described as the art of remaining employable for as long as one desires to be a part of the workforce. But here's the caveat there. It takes adaptability, grit, and readiness for this journey. So when you say it's a journey, what do you need to do? When you say you're going to have a trip to France, you need to prepare for that journey towards lifetime employability. You cannot just wake up the next morning and say, oh, I want to be lifetime employable. Cannot. Okay. So how do we distinguish lifetime employability versus lifetime employment? Employment is to work. Employability refers to the skills and abilities that allows one to be employed, which probably all of us have that kind of skills and abilities. Otherwise, we are all jobless here. But what kind of skills and abilities have you developed over the years? Do you have the 21st century skills and abilities that allow you to be part of the relevant workforce of the 21st century? Now, it's not enough to know or to learn office productivity skills. Just because you can make your own PowerPoint, you can say, oh, I can survive the next 50 years. That probably must not be the case. Employability has to be worked at. It's not something that you pray, wait for a miracle to happen, and then suddenly you are, I don't know, employability skills and abilities will be delivered to you through Grab or Lazada, or you can buy it over online in Shopee. This is something that you have to work in order for you to remain employable. So lifetime employability needs action. And if you want to be lifetime employable, that action starts now, after this meeting. Okay? You decide after this meeting, if you have that light bulb moment that, oh my God, I don't think I will fit into the lifetime employability category. So it needs continual self-development in specific areas of knowledge. For example, in human resource management, there are several areas there For example, training and development, compensation and benefits, labor relations. Who else? There are several areas in human resource management practice, but you cannot be forever a generalist. Imagine all doctors are generalists. No specialists for heart disease. No specialists for lung disease, because everybody is just a generalist. So your lifetime employability needs action after today, or maybe after you eat your lunch. You try to evaluate, where are you heading? What do you intend to do for the rest of your life if you want to become employable? Okay. For example, in the last 2 years, we experienced COVID-19. We never thought it will last 3 years. Personally, I thought, oh, maybe 6 years or 6 months, everything will be back to normal. It did not happen. So how long did it take you to realize that the world will never be the same again after COVID-19? Were you able to adjust immediately to the situation? We in the academe, were we able to adjust immediately? I have never encountered a teacher who praised online class. They said, oh my God, I want face-to-face, in-person learning. But this is the future of education. Education on demand. When they need it, as they need it. Online. You cannot say, oh, I still prefer in person. Maybe we can have blended learning, but online class is here to stay. So adjusting immediately is important, because according to Charles Darwin, it is not the biggest, the brightest, or the best that will survive, but those who adapt the quickest. So it is not the best, not the brightest, not the strongest, but those who are adaptable to change. And change doesn't mean only physical change. Sometimes even language, you have to learn new terminology, such as essential workers. Are you an essential worker? Have you realized how the word essential worker evolved due to the pandemic? Frontliners. These are usual words we see every single day in the newspaper. We read it in the newspaper. We hear it, radio broadcast, TV broadcast, in every piece of conversation. Remote work, work from home. Were you able to adjust the work from home arrangement? Elbow bump, quarantines, Zoom fatigue, and the blurs day. What is a blurs day? You wake up in the morning not knowing what day is it today, because you can no longer distinguish which one is Monday and which one is Thursday, because you work from home and you sometimes just go there without even taking a shower. You never realize, what day is today? I haven't taken a shower for 3 days. Unlike if you go to the office, you have to take shower every day. And sometimes working at home, you have to let go of some perks like taking a shower, because it's too, why prepare a lot? Why you look so very presentable when you just work at home? Okay. So do you see yourself doing these guys here? when you are 60 or 65? Maybe not. Because for you, especially for Asian people, we look forward to retirement because, well, that's the time that you can have time for yourself at 65 or 60, time for yourself, time to travel. But you cannot travel alone because you're already old. You have to bring someone with you. Unlike in Western culture, they can work for as long as they are functional. So, but there is some practicality in lifetime employability. First, let's face it, retirement funds are usually not enough, especially in this side of the world. Social security in Asia are not actually well funded, well managed, that they can barely give us the financial benefits that allow us to live a comfortable life during retirement. According to the study with the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, or HSBC, that covered 16,000 people in 15 countries worldwide, the survey revealed, or the study revealed, that 35% of women in Asia are not preparing adequately for a comfortable retirement. Retirement actually needs money. That's the reality. It's so lonely to retire without money. Things that you want to buy, you can no longer buy because you don't have source of income anymore except for your retirement. But what if your retirement is not enough? The problem is more acute in Taiwan and Hong Kong, with those not preparing 64% and 44% respectively. So we are not alone. Taiwan and Hong Kong are more prosperous cities and country, and yet they are also not prepared for a comfortable retirement. 73% of women in Asia are already concerned that they will not have enough money to live day to day upon retirement, compared to 65% of men. So if you retire at 60, you are not that old by that time. So you probably will live 20 more years. And if you rely on your retirement, you might not be able to enjoy retirement, actually. The next practicality of a lifetime employability is to remain mentally and physically alert. According to WebMD, the benefits of working after retirement are as follows. Because you are still very active, you most likely have few health problems. You maintain that mental sharpness because you keep on doing cerebral things at work. You stay social. You know, this said, no man is an island. Waking up in the morning, knowing that you're going somewhere to an office, it's motivating already. Seeing your friends, seeing your colleagues is doubly motivating. You remain physically active as well, which is very important if you are older. It is very important that you are physically active when you are older, mentally, physically active. Next is, after retirement, what are you supposed to do? So, being lifetime employable will give you, or will have that sense of purpose. Having a sense of purpose keeps us motivated. Why am I here for? Okay? So when you grow older, you accumulate a lot of lessons learned in life, experiences, which when you continue working, you will be able to share to your younger colleagues. Sometimes it's not really just about the money. It's like paying it forward. It's like helping others find their own place under the sun. Next is staying current with new technologies. Most of us, or most older generation of people, usually say, "Oh, I don't need to learn new technology because I will leave it to you because you're younger. It's no use for me." So it's no use for me. So why should I learn how to, not that you have to have a TikTok account or something, but we will no longer go back to the Stone Age. So learning new technology, you don't have to be a programmer of Apple or Samsung to learn new technology. But to be updated with technology, it means you will be able to keep yourself updated with what is happening around the world. There will be no generation gap in a way because you are as techy as the new generation. Okay, some of you probably are so much into K dramas. So when you talk to your daughters or you talk to your daughter's friends, they will be amazed that also you know about K dramas and all these things. According to American Management Association, employability skill attributes such as critical thinking and problem solving, creativity and innovation, collaboration and communication skills will always be part of today's global economy. Communication skills, especially because when we are already older and we are working with the younger generation of workers, they have their own language. Sometimes we don't understand what they are saying. Uh, Sometimes we do not understand what they're trying to tell us. Okay, so it's very important for us to be able to actively communicate or effectively communicate to diverse kind of people, diverse people from diverse backgrounds and from different generations. So the UNESCO framework for transversal competencies listed down 5 domains. If you look at the 4th domain, it says here global citizenship. If you want to achieve lifetime employability, you have to get out of your comfort zone, try to understand what is happening around you, be totally aware, be tolerant of the different perspectives, different backgrounds of people. Media and information literacy is also very important. Okay, understanding ability to locate and access information, and not just ability to locate and access information, but evaluate and analyze. Especially in this time of fake news, it's very important for us to be able to discern which one is relevant, which one is truthful, which one is actually fictitious. Next, we're very familiar with the idiom elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is there, but nobody acknowledges the elephant. We pretend that the elephant is not there. The elephant in the room generally is that workplace has become increasingly technical and global. It caught everybody with their pants down. COVID-19 caught everybody surprised. Nobody is investing on information and communication technology. even schools, universities, who are supposed to be at the forefront of all these things, they don't even have, when COVID-19, when we realized that it will last more than 6 months, universities, some universities until now, they don't even have a learning management software or system. They know we're going to that direction. Technical upgrade. But we opted to delay and delay and delay. So when it happened, we became very reactive. So what is that elephant in your career? Something that is there, but you actually pretend that it's not there. In your work, in your organization, do not allow that elephant to crush you, and then you end up irrelevant. Okay. Businesses, they always want to be competitive. So they always want to maintain a skilled labor force. For us employees, the challenge for us is to remain viable. Now, can you lay claim to the fact that you are viable? What have you actually learned that makes you remain viable to your organization? Sometimes, if you have been in our work for like 5 years, 10 years, okay. If you have been in our respective work for 5, 10 years, the host would like to unmute. I cannot.
Dr. Marlon, I think it's muted your mic.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So after being in one's position for 5 years, sometimes we feel very comfortable, and we sometimes we say to ourselves that, okay, I can do my job, like even with my eyes closed and all these things. We have been so very uncomfortable, and we sometimes do not bother ourselves to learn something. Or sometimes we go out for seminars, meetings, conventions, and all as part of the usual retooling, but just to comply with the requirements. But in reality, you haven't learned anything from that. But for you to remain viable, you have to have demonstrated skills that will let your employer realize that you are actually viable. Okay. Okay. So these are some of the cool jobs, which probably one of these days you will try to apply. A space tour guide. If you have that fancy plan of being a tourist guide, now don't settle for less. You can probably become a space tour guide. According to Reader's Digest, this may be the job of the future. Okay, you can be a maritime virtual security officer. You can be a digital removalist. What is a digital removalist? Because most of us, we chronicle our activities online. We post everything from on social media, and when we apply for a job, normally human resource management officers now, they try to check your background also online. So the digital removalists will clean your profile online. So that could be a future job. Another one is the robo coach. Imagine teaching a robot how to act like a human being. So isn't that a crazy job? Which one is better? A robot teaching us how humans how to act a robot, or maybe it's better if we humans are teaching robots to act like humans. So you have also chief automation officer. We have remote drones, drivers, and pilots. We have virtual reality programmer, self-driving car mechanic, and this one is probably very interesting. Local experiences tour guides. Okay, so we cannot be all programmers. We cannot all be high tech. The 21st century skills that will help us become lifetime employable is, of course, still soft skills. According to LinkedIn, these are skills companies need most in the coming years. Creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and emotional intelligence for the soft skills. For the hard skills, we have here the blockchain, cloud computing, analytical reasoning, artificial intelligence, UX design, business analysis, affiliate marketing, sales, scientific computing, video production, and maybe a lot more. So try to see which one we can develop now, because these skills might come in handy in the future if you want to change career or if you want to become relevant in the workplace. Okay. So to remain employable is to remain relevant and learn old paradigms, learn new things, and be sure the skills that you have, uh, the skills that you have earned or learned is demonstrate. You can demonstrate it. So you have to demonstrate agility. You have to be very adaptable. You have to continuously contribute value to the organization. To be on the lookout how industries adapt to changes, especially the industries that you are in or the industry which you want to transfer or you want to change your career later. Know what's happening in that industry, or if you are in that particular industry, you know where the industry is heading. Be proactive rather than reactive. You monitor trends. You try to monitor what's happening in the world. Develop that lifelong learner attitude. Okay, but for most people, they just learn but they do not practice. That's the sad thing there. They apply or they go and attend seminars, conventions, whatever, and then they don't put it into practice. Learning is one thing, but putting what you learn into something is an entirely different thing. Okay, so that's these are some of the things that will help you become or remain employable. So according to a book by Dilip Srinivasan and company, Achieving Lifetime Probability Employability, there are 4 P's that will determine your lifetime employability: principles, performance, perception, and politics. Principles. How solid are the principles that guide you? Performance. How would you measure up in terms of your performance? Are you the type of person that just finish it or submit it for the sake of submission? Or you just want to comply just for the sake of compliance? Perception. How are you perceived by the people around you? Next might be difficult for me personally. How do you manage the power politics in your organization? This is the reality. Organizational politics could kill creativity, could kill motivation. So how do you manage the power politics in your organization? Try to look at this from this perspective, and let's see if you have what it takes to be lifetime employable. For our organizations, I think we need to continuously develop people for their own place in society, not just how we can make use of these people, but how can we develop holistically these people so that even if they are no longer part of the organization, They can still have their own place in the society. Empowering employees by allowing them to determine their own careers. Usually, the traditional mindset is when we go inside an organization, we don't plan ourselves. Seldom we plan for our own careers. We rely on what our boss will tell us. We rely on, well, if there's an available vacancy there and we will be promoted, then we will apply for that. Sometimes let's have to face it. Working is all about money. It's not about sometimes about our own career because we're very pragmatic. We're very practical about our choices, allowing them to switch to different expertise if that better suits their talent. How many of us here are working jobs that we don't actually like? How many of us here are doing things but that we actually hate to do? Because we don't have a choice, we have very limited options. Help them with coaching, development interviews, and training in the field of knowledge, experience, skills, and health and wellness. Okay. You know, mental health matters. It's very important that you don't just teach or help employees to gain new knowledge and skills, but as well to take care of their mental health. Way back in 2010, the former minister mentor, the late Lee Kuan Yew, boldly suggested that there should be no retirement age for Singaporeans, which is probably being implemented in Singapore. Because if you've been to Singapore, you see a lot of old people still working. My friend, my Taiwanese friend, when she went to the Philippines, the first question she asked me was, where are the old people in your country? And you can ask the same question in Thailand. Where are the old people in this country? Are they not working anymore? We only see old people working in the traditional workplace, like in the academe. I'm not saying only the academe, but you can see a lot of slightly older people still doing teaching job. But when you go, for example, to a mall, you don't see people older than 60 years old working there anymore. But in Singapore, you can see McDonald's employees who are 60 years old or maybe even 70 years old. My aunt who is in the States she is already almost 70 years old, but she's still working as a manager of a fast food company. So it also requires societal changes and probably government intervention, especially that in Asia. I don't know. I cannot speak for Thailand or Indonesia, but in my country, um, um, recruitment is in a way discriminatory because there is an age limit. You should be between this age and between from this age to this age. So if you fall beyond the allowable or the desired age, you are no longer considered you as a potential employee. So it may be easier said and done to have this lifetime employability without the support of the government policies and all. We might end up still hitting the ceiling of 65 years old and then go back to our homes and maybe watch after your grandchildren and become their nannies or whatever. Because without government policies that there should no longer be age limits when it comes to recruitment of employees, so we will be back in the usual box of being put in a box of you can only be hired if you are between this age and that age. So you have to continue to add value to yourself to be relevant. That's why you need to keep on learning new things. You need to keep on discovering new things. You also need to discover yourself. What is it that you can actually still develop in yourself? Because maybe after so many years of working very routinary job, there's so many things in your life that you have wanted to do before, but you have to you just have to forget it because it's not priority, it's not part of my job, and I don't have time anymore. So maybe this is the time now to have to discover what is it really that you want that will make you happy, what is it really that you make you relevant for as long as you want. And you never know what you can achieve or how far you can go unless you discover yourself. And then be adaptable, be resilient, and always be ready for a career switch. Without you realizing, the grass is greener on the other side of your current organization. So thank you very much. Terima kasih banyak Indonesia. Om Sida, thank you for your time and thank you for this invitation. Sawadee Kap from Thailand. Kokun Kap.
Thank you, Dr. Marlon, for your mind awakening presentation. At the moment, I also thinking, what will it be in the next 5 years? Is it replacing in my class, teaching my students? Yeah. And if you mention about age limit, here also the same, sir. We have a age limit that consider if someone is as a potential employee or not. We are actually facing a lot of things if we are talking about what you are present to us today, like technological gap, especially for elderly, and also here elderly is not have enough room for them to express different way, like you say in Singapore or else. Okay, I think we have all complete presentation. So it's now time for question and answer. I already choose 3 questions from the chat room. So, okay, I will read it. The first one is for Pak Sriono. It's from Julian Haris Ega. I want to ask about finance, especially finance problem for young people like me, because when we work, we certainly get a salary from a company, and which in the end, we can make us buy all things we want, like the dream of buying unnecessary things. How are we as a generation Z can do financial freedom so that we can carefully in spending money, and what advice will be the presenter give so that this young generation understand the presence of a future that we cannot predict. Silakan Pak Sri. Ini ada yang galau nih ya dengan berita anak muda Indonesia milenial susah beli rumah gitu ya.
Thank you for the Julian Haris Ega. Yeah, that's right. Julian Haris Ega. Okay. Question is very interesting, really. Because right now the millennial generations like this very confused. Yeah, very confused if they have a lot of money and then how this my money I'm sell, but they have no money, so I'm confused too. How to take a lot of money? So some of them sometimes they play about this cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's right. Cool. How are we as generation against we can do financial freedom so that we are careful spending money? Financial freedom. This is very interesting. All the person we would like to have the financial freedom, Miss Poppy too, and till. But I want to talk about this based on the money. Based on the money. The money. If we have a lot of money, there are some kind of activity we can do it. The first one, the money may be using a transaction. money maybe using transaction and then investment, and then be keeping something to what is the meaning this one? If there is something accident under our family, we must to prepare this money. And then the last transaction, investation, and then speculation. Yeah, speculation like this one. If we have a lot of money, this thinking like this millennial generation, I think you really have consumptive behavior. When there's something you going buy this one, so like this one. So if you can keep your emotion, you don't thinking a lot about this your environment, like this friend and like this who is you live in the this house. You must think about this for your futures lively. How think about this the money. We must step by step to have planning, step by step to learn about this, how to spend this money. Which one for the investation, which one for transaction, which one for speculation, like this one. I do really, this is very difficult to do, but we must to try for the start now. You still are young, you must to thinking about this one. Maybe right now, maybe this difficult, but maybe the step by step, when you a teenager, when you old age, you will get a lot of money from this activity. Spending money, what activities will seminar present? It's like this one, I think. Yeah. Thinking about this function, the money, there is 4 function which you must learning about this, how to spend this money for this activity. With one transaction, with one investment, with one speculation, like this one. Because this is very important to learn. You must start from this day to learn this one. Don't you wait until you have maybe 13 years, old years. This, I think, this not good. Yeah, you must starting for this now, maybe from this tomorrow, how to arrange this money. You must thinking for yourself. Don't you influence to the behavior another person. This is maybe this advice not really suitable, but this is experience. This my some of my friend. This is always do like that, and then like know this to be a good person. This is my summary. Thank you.
Oke, thank you Pak Sri.
Ya.
Julian, semoga terjawab ya pertanyaannya. And then for the next question is from Fitria, asking to Ma'am Sandra. Ma'am Sandra Vivian, are you still here? Ma'am Sandra. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, there's a question for you, ma'am, from Fitria. She's asking about related to management is the key to the world. We as a person sometimes planning in a company that does not match with what we plan. On the other hand, we have prepared the plan. So how do we make planning in a company so that it can be an efficient and effective one?
Yes, well, from my point of view, and that's why I made this presentation about the institutional surrounding. I don't know if in the private sector, the organization maybe would be more standard, whatever country you are. But for administration and politics, the cultural impact is very strong. So you really need to know what is the organization or the environment you're going to work with. Because otherwise, although you may have a very good plan, a very good project, that everything has been analyzed according to the rules of management techniques, it will not fit and it will not be effective if you don't anticipate what your partner or what your future partner, what he is able to do, what he is willing to do. I mean, this is very important in any field of international relations. I think whatever you are working for a private company or an administration of a political organization, you will need to understand the organization of your partner, his background, and his yeah. So, and you have to anticipate this before defining your plan and your project, because you may need to have different partners for one project. You may not find the right partner that will fulfill all your needs or respond to all your demands. So yeah, so that would be my advice, is first to really to investigate the country you're going to work with. So you make sure that your plan, although it has been well prepared, fits with the organization of your partner. That's a double job when you work at the international level.
Yes.
I don't know if this answer seems clear to our young colleague.
It was quite clear, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am Sandra Vivier, for your answer. Fitri, mudah-mudahan bisa menjawab ya kegundahannya. And then the last question is for Dr. Marlon. Are you still here?
Yes,
Okay.
Miss Papi, I'm here.
Yeah, there's one question from Pak Taufan. Pak Taufan is one of our lecturer at management department. So he's asking about in the era of 4.0, all activities are lead to the digital world. So what is your opinion regarding this phenomena, maybe from the human resource point of view? So what we can improve, especially in our skill about this?
Oh, okay. One of the things which can you hear me? One of the things which I really want the academe and the business and industry to do is collaboration. Let's have to face it. We in the academe are offering something that the industry doesn't need. And we in the academe are teaching something that was happening 10 years ago. So meaning we are not as updated as we think. So if I were to make a decision for a university or for my university, I will ask if we have internship for students, we also should have internship for teachers, for them to be able to learn real time, to learn in what is really happening in the real world. Because let's face it, we have that certain level of arrogance if we are in the academe, because we are teachers. We always have like, okay, without teachers, you are nothing. The problem is, it's no longer who is the best, who is the brightest. But for example, you're teaching something management, cross-cultural management. You haven't even worked in an international company. You haven't even experienced working with someone from a different country. So we cannot teach by the book. So that's why there will always be a deficiency as to what we want our students to learn and what they actually learn from us, from what they actually expect from the industry expect from our students. There will always be a mismatch because we cannot teach what we don't have. So for me, For us to improve the skills in any field, teachers like us should not rely on books to learn new things. We have to work with Chamber of Commerce. For example, we have to learn from, we have to coordinate, or we have to have some kind of internship with the French embassy, for example, to learn about French culture and anything about France. For us to be able to somehow, or we go educational trip, we go, like, for example, I'd like to invite you, Miss Papi, to teach in Thailand for 1 term. Okay, you will be teaching Thai students, Chinese students. You will be working with Thai. We will also be like, for example, myself, I'll be working with 10 different nationalities here in my university. I am a Filipino working in Thailand, but I'm working with a Chinese. I'm working with an American. I'm now working with a British, a Cambodian. So it gives me wealth of experience on how to deal with this kind of people from different.
Sorry, sir, I think you are muted.
Okay. Okay. You know, it's like giving an advice to someone who has broken up with his girlfriend, but you don't have a girlfriend since birth. I mean, how could you have that kind of? You're good in advising about relationship, but you haven't had any relationship since way back in your probably high school. You haven't. You don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, but you're very good in advising people about relationships. So where is the justice? Where is justice there? So what I'm saying is, we try to connect, work with industry, because they are really there. Our product will be absorbed by the industry, but if there's a mismatch, because we don't really have the kind of understanding, or the kind even of the kind of skills that we should be able to teach based on skills to our students. So things will not work as desired. Thank you, Ms. Papi. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Marlon. Oh, Mr. Topan say, kapungkap, Dr. Marlon.
Kapungkap! Kapungkap, Teacher Tofan.
Okay, thank you. For our remarkable speakers, I think we are already in our end of discussion. So maybe I will sum up a little bit what we already learned from morning until now. So if we talk about how the management in terms of SMS, like what Mr. Sriono and Professor Najib already mentioned, that SMS is playing a major role, yeah, in most of the country. But the other things that we must realize, that SMS also have some problems. If we learn from other countries, like Mr. Sriono said, from India, Malaysia, and Canada. So it needs our effort to drive the SMS as a potential part of our country. So that it also need all the stakeholders to do the acting. So we cannot just rely it to maybe the government. So we have all of to bring the SMS, like what Mr. Najib said, to develop into a sustainable business. And if we talk about the employment, all here maybe become an employee, just don't easily being satisfied what we have now, because we have to make sure, is it a lifetime employability? Are we quite adaptable? Are we ready for the new changing? Yeah, because if not, then maybe we will perish like that. I'm quite interesting with what Dr. Marlon said. The quote, we don't need to be the best, not to be the brightest or to be the strongest, but important now is how we are able to change in any condition. Maybe for the first time for me, Pak Siono and other lecturers, it's difficult to teach in the Zoom room, but it's a part of a process that we must adapt during the COVID pandemic, and also now it's quite familiar for everyone to teach in a Zoom room. And I really hope that all our discussion will bring something for us today, like what Dr. Malan said, learning is something, but put what we learned to different thing is one thing. Thank you all to the speakers and all the participants who still stay until today. I will give the time to MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Ms. Poppy. Sorry. Ya, ada yang bicara tadi, Pak Sudiono?
Ya.
Oh, okay. So, thank you for Ms. Poppy Febriana as moderator today, and thank you for the all of international speakers. And ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of today's agenda. Let's us close the event by reciting Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil
Alamin.
But before we close this event, let's take a photo session. I hope you can turn on your camera, please, and the committee will screenshot a print screen. Sudah siap sekali ya. Okay. Okay, we will take a photo. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, once again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for the all participants joining today's event, and those are the agendas we have presented. We hope you learned something, and thank you so much for your attention. See you on the next occasion. I'm Rani Shada as a Master of Ceremony. Say thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you.